Hey guys and gals, Denmark7643. So I wanted to take a moment today to respond a little bit about using a really bad Negotiator fleet up against Malevolence. And then I also wanted to touch on using rebels to kill the standard meta Malevolence fleet as well. Like the best move order that I've used on my climbs for a very long time. The reason I'm making this video is to help my guild. I was actually asked by, shout out to Woozie Ru. She just was really curious about, some of the ways you can get through the Malevolence fleets with different makeups, not just the standard meta. So things like, what if they start a Houndstooth, for instance, or if they have 3 tanks, or if they have a Houndstooth and a Hyena, but they don't have Sunfac out there and they reinforce him so he gets 2 stuns or whatever. So we're going to cover all that today. So I thought I would just go over the optimal move order. We'll watch a couple of battles and we'll take it from there. So let's back this up to the right away. The first thing that you're going to want to do is use 5s, and you're going to want a basic Hyena. This is to trigger that taunt right away. Don't basic Sunfac or else he'll stun you. He'll stun your Anakin and you'll have a bad day. Then breach Sunfac if you can, then back in basic here. Because the thought is if you can get that target lock, when you mobilize now, you might get an assist and a bonus Valor on Hounds. And in this case, we did, as you can see. After mobilize, then you really can just go and start working on any of the remaining tanks with your AoE. A lot of times you have 3 hit there, and so it's a nice big AoE. And then here you can use Anakin and just run another basic. And then here you're going to want to keep working on Sunfac. You got to get rid of this guy, because you can see Cassian in the boat there. You can also use Ebonhawk, but that's our silver bullet. When you don't want to lose in territory war, a lot of times, you're going to set your Malevolence on D or whatever, and you'll save your Negotiator for offense. If that's the case, you can do this, but you got to kill Sunfac, or else Cassian can't get to the Millennium Falcon, and then it's like easy street. Here's their Falcon. They pull it first, which is pretty standard these days, and we're totally ready for it. So all I need to do is just keep working. You can strip all the foresight with one move there, so I like to do it with Anakin. Then reapply Unending Loyalty and make sure that the offense up goes to Anakin. And then you're going to cleanse the Buzz Droids off your Houndstooth, and then immediately get back to work on the Hyena Bomber until it's time to reinforce, and then you delete the Falcon afterwards. Right here. You just call Cassian, and it's over before it starts. All you do is call Anakin here with the assist move, and it kind of takes care of itself. That's a Gear 12 Anakin ship there against a Relic Millennium Falcon. Gear 12. It's terrible. And then all you need to do is take care of the starting Vulture and the Hyena Bomber itself. So you just work the Hyena basically constantly here until it's toast, because you want to beat out that ultimate. You don't ever want to let Malevolence ultimate you if you can. And already, because you got all that extra Valor, your capital ship got lots of turn meter, and it's all over but the cry. And a basic here, we'll finish this match, and we can move on to the next fight. So once again, that's, I've got like a Gear 11 Cassian, a Gear 12 Jin, a Gear 9 K2SO. That is not a great Cassian. That's a Gear 12 Bossk. That's a Relic 3 5s. That's a Gear 12 Plo Koon, and a Gear 12 Anakin. That's it. So the next item up for bids is when they run all tanks, Sunfac, Houndstooth, and Hyena Bomber, all right away to start. So I'll just kind of go over how this lineup works. It's kind of the same premise. You're going to basic Hyena Bomber with 5s. And then you can try to breach Sunfac. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it didn't. Then you're going to try to target lock Hyena Bomber. Sometimes it works, this time it did. And then go ahead and mobilize on Hyena. Hopefully you get a Valor on Houndstooth, but this time we didn't. No big deal. But you see everybody is target locked now, so you can do the big AoE with 5s, which is kind of fun. And so it kind of sets the stage. I mean, yes, they're going to have crit immunity, so it's not really that big of a deal, but it's still always nice to get the AoE damage, because as you can see with this tank lineup, you're going to want to do AoE damage. Now we're doing all kinds of AoEs to whittle everybody down at once, because it's really nice to take out 2 tanks quickly. So Plo Koon again is the first reinforcement. It's absolutely the best first reinforcement against Malevolence, because you clear the Buzz Droids, you clear the threat. So I always pull him first and do the turn meter move, and then you can go ahead and just delete Sunfac and get rid of him. And then you're going to have have to deal with this lovely move. And once again, you unending loyalty, always put the offense up on Anakin. And then cleanse the buzz droids off a Houndstooth, just like last round. There's the Falcon this time, which is just delightful. And so you have no choice here because Hounds is the only one taunting, so you just go ahead and attack him for a little while. But it's okay, because right here, again, no breaches out, so there's nothing they can do. You bring Cassian, and you're just going to go ahead and almost delete this Falcon. But you see, this one's full health and all reliced up, so it's not going to die. But you get so many turns after this move that are AoEs or the ultimate that you're able to either get him killed outright like this, or let's say that he survived. Okay, let's say that he lived, that we didn't get the big hit from Anakin. Because it does happen sometimes. And they get the taunt up, you have this AoE in order to kill it. And then you also have the big capital ship AoE with the concussion mines coming, or the ion torpedoes from your Y-wings. So pretty easy there. I mean, you're going to wipe out that Falcon no matter what there, and then it's all over but the crying. You just kill the hyena bomber, and you can see Cassian on the field there. I was able to cleanse just to make sure that offense down was removed from Anakin. That's why it's so nice to have both Cassian and Plo on the field, because you have cleansers. So again, really easy fight. And then the last one I wanted to look at with Negotiator, this weak Negotiator fleet, is up against this Houndstooth, and that's a Relic 5 Bossk, by the by, with 60 mods. It's not perfect, but pretty good. And then a maxed out Vulture Droid, and I believe, unfortunately, this is only a 6-star Hyena Bomber at this time, which is a bummer, but you can definitely see that it would still go down no matter what, and I've defeated ones that have actually run this lineup. Richo has been kind enough, and we're going to take a look at Richo's fleet too with Rebels here in just a minute, just in case you have strong Rebels. Because if you do, they are a guaranteed win against Malevolence also. So, as long as you do the right move order, or you don't have just absolutely abysmal RNG. I mean, I could see it if you just kept getting miss, and no assists or something, that you might actually be able to lose to a perfect fleet. Hasn't happened to me yet, and my Rebels aren't that great. So, exactly the same move order here. Exactly the same. All the way through. We're just kind of mirroring it, really. It's just you ignore that Houndstooth for a little while. And then call Plo Koon first again, get rid of those buzz droids, and do the turn meter up special, just like before. And just continue doing what you need to do. You're just kind of buying your time. And I was waiting for a Millennium Falcon, but he surprised me, and one never came. Instead, what we're going to see here is something a little unique. And once again, I wanted to keep this, on the unique side. You've seen how you can completely wipe out the Falcon. He called Sunfac instead. Got that taunt and that stun coming out. So he's going for the delay tactic, just in case you face this variant. I figured it would be good to show it off. So you just go for Sunfac. Again, you just ignore that Houndstooth, because eventually it's going to succumb. You'll see, after the ultimate here, you just got to keep dropping this guy, and it'll go. So Sunfac is almost defeated at this point. And I looked around, I'm like, well, you know what, I can only target one, so I'm just going to basic, and it still got the job done. So now the only foe that's left to defeat that we need to get rid of is that Houndstooth. And so, once again, I'm going to bring Cassian in. You could bring Ahsoka, and you might have luck with her, but mine is gear 12. It's different. This is not a relic fleet. This is an easy way to make sure that you can cleanse yourself up and get enough damage. You just call Anakin again, and you can see it's not dead. But we got a buff immunity. He's going to cleanse that off with the capital ship. You don't need it. Just stay diligent. Keep working on him. Malevolence really struggles up against Houndstooths, especially if you have a relic one. Mine's just gear 12. But you can see, once you get a target lock on, 5s assassinates the health of Houndstooth. And once its health starts getting gypped into, it doesn't regen protection anymore very well at all, and it just drops. So, that's how you can get through those. They are difficult fleets, yes, but as long as you know the right move order, reference this video, and you should be just fine. Make sure that you just kind of go over it. But it's basically the same idea, the same premise all throughout. You really aren't using Anakin's AoE unless you need to. You're generating Valor. You're causing turn meter gain to get your ultimate very quickly. But look at my garbage ships here. They're not good. They are not good. is it. There's only 2 relic pilots that I use in the whole thing. And Anakin he's not even full 6E mods. You don't want to see that, but I don't care about that. But the ship itself is just junk. I mean, this should be 198. Or excuse me, 189. Blah, blah, blah. 189 speed on that if it was maxed. And just like Negotiator, they both tie at 189. But mine is junk, and it didn't matter. It's fine. You can still kill whatever with it. My Plo Koon is the same way, just gear 12. Pretty much all the ships I use, with the exception of Negotiator and 5s. Everybody else is just gear 12 or lower. And, I'm taking on relic pilots or fully maxed pilotless ships. So, no Y-Wing out there. I'm just using the Houndstooth. Mainly because Houndstooth is just more effective against Malevolence fleets. It just is. They really struggle unless they land a buff immunity and get a bonus turn with buzz droids on, with that buff immunity on. It's pretty rare. Relic Houndstooth, they gain so much turn meter if you're attacking outside of the one ship, or if you use AoEs, that it's going to be able to basic off all those debuffs and just get back to doing what it does best, which is regenerate a ton of protection up. So, anyway, that's that lineup. And my ships are just junk. So, we're just going to pause that, and then I'm going to bring you over to take a look at this, because this guy is perfect. He's a perfect Malevolence fleet. We're just going to show you how to use Rebels, kind of junky Rebels, up against a perfect Malevolence fleet. Relic 7 Sunfac. And this Richo, pretty much all of his ships that he uses are perfect, with mods and everything. I mean, leave no stone unturned. This guy just loves his ships, and it makes me happy to go up against him. So we got a Relic 3 Ackbar, Relic 7 Millennium Falcon that actually has 6Es, and the rest of them are gear 12 or less. So what you do is you basic here with Millennium Falcon. You don't dance. You need that to cleanse buzz droids. Just basic. Just want to deal enough damage so that your Defiant Volley from your capital ship here. Sunfac can't taunt the capital ship ever. So that vulture is vulnerable. It's already gone. It's not going to put buff immunity on your bigs. It's a big deal. Then you get all these lovely buzz droids, but Bistan's stealth, so they can't get to him yet. So keep working Sunfac. That's all you gotta do. Keep working Sunfac. And bigs will get hit. He could blow up. That's fine. I got lucky with the dodge there. But he can blow up, and you'll still win this fight. Because what you're going to do is you're going to use Plo Koon to off-tank it. Basically, just to soak one turn, and then right before he dies, he's going to be able to put his critical hit immunity on. So here comes Plo Koon. He just comes out of the woodwork. We're going to use the lovely turn meter gain special, whatever, and just push your ships as usual. Millennium Falcon comes out, which is usually a major bummer, but we didn't call Cassian yet, you can see. So once again, this is going to be a walk in the park. You just keep working on Hyena Bomber, and you can clean off any of the foresight from the reinforcement in one move there with the Falcon. And if there were buzz droids, you could cleanse them here, but I just added protection up to bigs because there weren't any. And I just keep working on Hyena because you want to hurt him significantly if you can before you end up deleting. Now see, you get the Ackbar heal here. That would help your Plo Koon if Biggs was dead. Biggs would have critical hit immunity, or not Biggs, but Plo Koon would have critical hit immunity if Biggs had been blown up before. So it still works great. And then eventually he'll succumb to them. And that's fine. You're totally expecting to lose one ship a lot of times, unless, you're reliced up like crazy. But again, these are just kind of junky ships with one or two decent ones, and that's it. And so here, you can finally just bring in Cassian and delete that enemy Falcon. He's on the field, you just call the Millennium Falcon to assist, and it's a guaranteed kill, because they're rebels, so they're going to critical hit thanks to Cassian's gear level skill at gear 11. And then you just wipe out Hyena Bomber, and they fall over. So, you don't need to be afraid of Malevolence fleets. There are ways to use the can opener with counter fleets that are lesser, like completely lesser in terms of gear level. You'll still be able to beat them. Don't be afraid of these Malevolence fleets on defense. They're just not a problem. And on that note, Malevolence does the same thing to Negotiator fleets. You can walk all over them with a 5-star Malevolence. You can climb on Negotiator all day. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to get this video out so people got educated a little bit on how to take out Malevolence. We're looking at Richo's ships now. I mean, just in case there were any questions about his fleet. I mean, pretty much every ship that he uses at all is relicked out and maxed. It's kind of funny, but I think Jedi Consular, K2SO, and I want to say Zeb are gear 12 on his fleet, so kind of funny. Anyway, it's a great barometer, and I love to test my ships against him. So thanks a lot, Richo, for being awesome and getting literally everything when it comes out so I can test against it. I hope that you guys and gals have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. And until the next video, leave some comments below if you have any questions or you'd like to see any specific fleet. If you're worried about getting through something, or if this stuff doesn't work for you right away, hopefully I can help you figure out which ship needs a little bit more help in order to make sure you can get over the hump. I appreciate you all, and have a great evening. Denny out.